Hi all, Alicia here with Evangelize Georgia, and I could not make the video that I am about to make. I don't usually make videos about homeschooling, but I know what a challenge it can be and how grateful I am when people share information. And so I just wanted to make a brief video about just some really game-changing techniques and tools that we have used. I have been homeschooling my children from the beginning. They are currently in kindergarten and third grade. We have done a fair amount of trial and error. So if I can save anyone out there from some error, that is what I'm hoping to do with this video. Before we go on, if you could please subscribe to this channel. We have no plans to monetize, and every time you subscribe, you are supporting us. You are also helping to push the gospel as we do proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ on this channel as often as we can. Or if you would like to interact with the channel in any way through the form of likes and comments and sharing, please go ahead and do that. We do appreciate it, and we love you all. I am going to put the camera on my neck piece from this point onward so that I have my hands free and I could show you some things that I do hope help you with your homeschooling. So if you are considering homeschooling your children, the first question you're going to ask is, what curriculum do I use? Do other moms use? And I do use My Father's World. It is a Christian curriculum. I think it does a fabulous job of weaving in the Bible and biblical history into modern history and ancient history, things that your children would learn in the public school system. I know many other moms who have chosen this curriculum. I will say that in keeping up with the public school standards, I have had to supplement with an online program, and this is a game changer. You're going to want to write this one down. It's called IXL, and I have it here on my checklist, IXL.com. I do a great bit of supplementing. The IXL was developed to tutor students in the public schools and to keep them up on the standards. You can get math, language arts, social studies, science, and even Spanish on IXL. And I use it the way that you would assign homework. I use it as an extra homework assignment. So I use My Father's World plus IXL. And My Father's World does give you options for math. I love their curriculum for language arts and for history. And for math, I have chosen Singapore Math, which you can buy the workbooks on the Singapore Math website or through My Father's World. And I love the Singapore Math. My one child loves it, my other child does not. So my child who doesn't love it really benefits from the IXL, and I'm hoping to get the skill level of this child up on the IXL so that this child will be able to use Singapore Math in the future and be confident in it. This is an example, one of the history books here. It's got a Christian figure, St. Patrick, and it goes through all the history books. This would be third grade. It goes through all these heroes of the faith, the Christian faith. So it gives you history, and you learn about major events in history, but through Christian figures. We just love it. But they do give you options for spelling. We have gone with Spelling Power. I do not use Spelling Power as traditionally prescribed in the book. And of course, this book warns you to not deviate from the book. But I have found other methods and other videos and ways that moms have used Spelling Power. I have friends who have used other spelling books. That's just what we use. You will probably have your own preference. The other game-changing thing that we have added to our homeschool, and you're gonna want to remember this as well, is a checklist. Okay, a checklist. And you can try to take a screenshot if you can. I may or may not get a chance to post this document somewhere for you to access for free, probably on the Evangelize Georgia website, evangelizegeorgia.org, but I'm not making any promises. But I will say that having this checklist is a huge game changer for myself and my children. And I have broken it down into sessions. Like I have session 1, then snack time, and then I have session 2. And you could take screenshots, and then I encourage them to go play PE or do sports. This would be around lunchtime, and we do lunch. And then after lunch, we have homework especially now for my 3rd grader, the kindergartner, not too much homework. And then I have listed here fun extras that we could do on Fridays, because sometimes you forget that you did something fun on a Friday and you're like, oh, I want to do that again. So I've just listed out pretty much all the fun things that we've ever done on a Friday or on a Saturday, in case we are looking for something to do. And we don't have Fun Friday every Friday. It's like a special treat, but it is something that my kids enjoy. So I will just briefly go over just things on this checklist that are so beneficial that I wish someone had told me about when I first started homeschooling. We pledge to Jesus. We have also done the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. So I will say this time right here, this calendar, globe, and prayer time right here, this is the game changer. We sit down with the calendar, and I give them each their own calendar. They get their own little student planner, which you can get at the Dollar Tree, or I get a calendar. Like I get calendars from various organizations like Samaritan's Purse or Voice of the Martyrs, or this one here is one for Israel. So this is a neat one because you have all the Jewish dates written out. I hang on to my Voice of the Martyr calendars because they will actually give you a country to pray over every day. And you could probably get this off their website. Open Doors USA might have something similar, like a prayer calendar. And we will pick a country, like if it's May 1st. You know, we'll pray over southern Mexico. And even though this is last year's calendar, I can still go to the day and we can pray over this country. I will have my kids locate the country on the map. And then sometimes I'll even pull up some facts about that country, or we just ordered an atlas. So I'm looking forward to going through the atlas and pulling up things on the atlas about different areas of the world that we can teach them about during calendar globe time. So we have prayer time. This is when we pray for a prayer request. We always pray for Israel. We always pray for the United States, our own country. And we also go over important dates. So if we have play dates or doctor's appointments that week, we do that. This is also our time to go over news. If I get updates from Voice of the Martyrs or Samaritan's Purse, or if there's a big news story going on, I will inform the kids about it. And this is just our time to do that. It's a great time, a great way to just start your day. Then we do Bible reading. I have my older daughter read a psalm a day, and then we'll probably go through a different book. And then we do Bible memory verses. And My Father's World does a very good job with memory verses. So if you get that curriculum, you will have memory verses. Otherwise, you can find a list of popular memory verses online. Then we do a science workbook, and I just ordered a science workbook off of Amazon because we were just having trouble being regular with our science, because a lot of the science was hands-on experiments when they're little. We found that the hands-on stuff was just too much to do at home. And yes, some of it you could do in your kitchen and it looks like a great idea, but then when you actually practically get to doing it, we never got around to it. So I just ordered a workbook, and I have my daughter read the page of the day and then fill out the answers. It also helps her with reading comprehension, which is always a good thing to practice. So we have really enjoyed the workbook, and we'll probably continue doing science workbooks. As far as hands-on science, we will do science experiments every now and then, or like a homesteading project. And then also, we just love science videos. I like to watch other people make a mess in their own kitchens. So we like to watch people doing science experiments, or we will watch a show like Science Max. Next, we will do a word of the day, and sometimes we switch up the order of these things, but they generally occur within session 1. And I love word of the day. I especially take time to look at the roots of all the words, and my children enjoy that too. And then we start to see root words, and we start to see prefixes and suffixes in other words, and it's just a great way to build their vocabulary. And I just do a dictionary app on my phone for that. And then we do a sight singing video. So we found that instruments were just too distracting. Like we tried the recorder, we tried keyboard, and we will do instruments on a Fun Friday sometimes, but I have found that just training my children in sight singing helps them to learn the notes. It helps them to just learn everything very simply, teaches them scales, ascending and descending. And I always teach them to sing along with the solfege, do, re, mi, or sing along with numbers, like do would be the number 1, re would be the number 2, or we sing along with the names of the notes, such as C, D, E. Then we have snack time, and this is where they can consume. This is when we will watch or listen to Spanish video or songs in Spanish, sing-along songs that are teaching Spanish to children. This is when we will do some audiobooks or perhaps audio Bible. I love to listen to Zach Fitzsimons. If you're looking to get into scripture memorization, his songs are wonderful. They're very catchy, and you can learn scripture very easily by listening to his songs. My kids love it. I love it. And then this is also the time where I will read some Bible facts to them from Christian history books. When they get older, I'll probably read to them from Fox's Book of the Martyrs, and I have Martyr's Mirror. Right now I'm going through Rose's book of Bible facts, and it has just charts and pictures from the Bible, and we just go through about a page or just little bits from a page. This is where we do Heroes of the Faith, or there's a book, 50 People All Christians Should Know, something like that. Basically Christian history here and Bible facts. And then our second session when snack time is over, I will have my daughter read the history lesson. Anytime I can get my kids to read out loud, even when they are doing math problems, if I can get them to read the math problem out loud and to speak in complete sentences, it just helps to reinforce their verbal learning. So I will have her read the history lesson out loud, and I will allow my son sometimes to draw what he hears or to write down 1 or 2 key words that he hears. And then I will ask her to summarize what she read. Then we do our language arts book, which I have through My Father's World. And then we will do some handwriting or script or copy work. And then we will also do spelling. And because I'm using Spelling Power, I will give my daughter a pre-test, usually at the beginning of the week. Then I do this exercise where I have her say the word, spell the word, say it. I will have her alphabetize the word, and not all in one day. So I'd give her the pre-test on one day, have her do the next exercise the next day, and then the following day I would have her alphabetize the list, and then the next day I would have her write a sentence for each word on the spelling list, and then I will have her write out words, especially if she's having trouble with words. I will have her write each word 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, however many times I feel like she needs to write it out to really get it. And then we have a test. And then, we just cycle through this. Then we will do math, like a math workbook. I like to see them do a math workbook or Singapore math first before I put them on anything online. Down here would be my online math things. I have even purchased these giant books from Costco, and they were quite cheap at the time, like first grade. I have my kindergartner doing first grade, and I will have them do the language arts sometimes in here, and also I will have them do the math in here. Use this as their written out math lesson of the day or math worksheet. I have also done well at the Dollar Tree finding little books where they could do math drills, like time tests, all kinds of neat little activity books that they have in their schooling section. I like to see them do some math on paper just because it gives me a sense of their progress and their handwriting, and are they writing any numbers backwards, because that happens sometimes. Then we have to work on practicing writing our numbers correctly. Now this next list here is extra math. This is totally free online, and it gives children just extra math practice, extra drills. It's no frills, so it's very nice, because I feel like a lot of these programs can be too stimulating for their eyes, and then they get distracted. IXL, there it is, game changer. I believe it's about $30 a month, and then each additional child is $5 a month, but you can fact check me on that. And it is worth every penny. As your children get older, IXL also offers lots of options for pre-tests and practice tests for PSATs, SATs, standardized tests, and things. We have tried Math Seeds. I do think it's a bit visually too cluttered for my kids. And Khan Academy, my kids really enjoy. We've done the free version, and they do offer a fair amount of free stuff online. But once your kids get older, you're going to want something a little more advanced, or you're going to want to pay for more for the Khan Academy. And then at this point, I'd let them go outside and play while I'm making their lunch. And then for homework, we would just do more IXL, as especially one of my children really needs to catch up in certain areas. And so this would be a great time for that child to do that, or do some extra Math Seeds or extra math. If they need help with extra comprehension, I just bought a workbook from Amazon. You can get comprehension workbooks, math workbooks, pretty much anything from Amazon. You do want to be a little careful with the comprehension stuff. As a Christian, you will find that a lot of these comprehension workbooks have very silly stories and fantasy stories, but I don't shy away completely from that. I teach my children the difference between fantasy and reality. I will teach them why I do not appreciate a certain story or certain things that are in their workbook. So this way they know the difference between right and wrong, or between fantasy and reality. But I will just say proceed with caution when you're doing comprehension work with your children, and make sure you know what they're reading. And then this is also a great time to do extra workbooks or activity books or test prep. And then I also have in here what we do at bedtime. We might have Bible reading. My husband and I will read a passage, or we will read about a hero of the faith for the day, or we will read a proverb of the day. And then that's usually at bedtime. Then I also wrote in here Superbook and Torchlighters, because a lot of times I will let them watch an episode of Superbook or Torchlighters. Torchlighters is about those who have been martyred for the faith, and Superbook is about these children who time travel and learn about the Bible. We like both of these shows, and we have actually paid for YouTube Premium Lite to take away the commercials when we are watching Superbook on YouTube. Some people will watch Superbook on other platforms. We do watch Torchlighters on Redeem TV. Redeem TV is free. You can make a donation, and they do have wonderful series such as Torchlighters on there, and that's where we watch that. These are actually, I would put these under the category of Fun Sunday, because it's usually on a Sunday afternoon after church. We also love to watch the gospel movies through a company called Lumo, Lumo. And I don't have it written here, but if I did, I'd write it right there. And they are word for word from the gospel. It's the ESV version. And we have just loved them. Our family has benefited so much from them. We have really learned to renew our minds, because we were watching a lot of junk on TV, and we were very convicted that we shouldn't be doing that. And so Lumo made these movies that we just watch over and over and over again, and they are word for word from the gospel. My kids can watch them, I can watch them, and because we have the ads removed through YouTube Premium or Premium Lite, we don't have to worry about scary ads coming up while we're watching that. And then finally, Fun Friday. These are just some ideas. Fridays are when we do recorder, piano, instruments. There's a website called Hoffman Academy that does great little piano lessons if your kids are looking to get into that. I've listed here some field trips that we have done and we've enjoyed. Errands can also be worked into Fun Friday, because you could teach your kids all kinds of things while they're at the doctor or the bank or the post office. I have also put church and evangelism and community under Fun Friday, because this would be a great time to do some evangelism in the community, to visit rehab centers, or to visit someone in your church who needs visiting. Sometimes we do communications on Fun Friday, like we will write to our sponsored child, or we'll write a card or a note to someone. My children love this next item here, Art Hub. They love to do drawing projects. Sometimes we'll even watch a little video about art history as part of our art lesson. We do science videos on Fun Fridays. And then we will do sometimes a science project or a building project or something with Legos. My kids have also recently been interested in doing entrepreneurial projects or making money or talking about how to manage their money. Fun Fridays are also a great time to do house projects, especially if you're having company over the weekend. You can teach your kids a little bit of home economics, cleaning, cooking. And then also we just love audiobooks and audio and video Bible, and we work those in throughout the week. And one more little tip before I go. If you go on to the My Father's World website or get a catalog from them, this is one of their catalogs, you can flip through and see what kinds of books they recommend. And like this one here, English from the Roots Up, and it gives you the root words. This to me looks like fun. I might order this. And you don't have to order it through them. You don't have to order the entire curriculum. You can look through and say, that looks interesting. I think I'll order this on Amazon or Abe Books. You don't have to buy a whole curriculum, but it's neat because you can see what they're recommending and for what age group. And then also you might find a book that you're interested in, and you can look up these books and see if they have audiobooks on YouTube. A lot of times people will read these books for free on YouTube, and that could be how you find what audiobook you're going to listen to that week. And also the My Father's World curriculum always includes these little indexes in the back with like lists of books and movies and things just that you can add into your studies or activities for the day. And again, you can find a lot of this stuff for free. Instead of buying a book, you can find the audiobook for free, or a livery box recording if it is in the public domain. Livery box is another app that you'll probably want to look into if you like audiobooks, free audiobooks that are in the public domain. That's all I could think of for now. I did just want to give you those little tips because these are all things I wish I had had. So I do hope this has helped someone in some way. And I do pray that you have a great time homeschooling. It is so rewarding, and you will learn a ton too as a homeschool mom. I have been humbled and I have been schooled by doing homeschooling, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world, and it's all to the glory of God. I love you all so much. I pray the Lord blesses you and keeps you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.